Murder! It's so... Girl,
So I'm just going to start off by prepping her skin. So to prep her skin, I'm going to use the color Dujour Prep and Prime Spray. And I'm also going to use my MAC Fix Plus to prep her skin. And with a brush, I have some Embryolisse moisturizer. And I'm just going to really prep her skin. She has drier skin, which is why I use that specific moisturizer, because it's very emollient. So for under her eyes, you guys can see she's complaining about her back. So I used some Bobbi Brown Hydrating Cream. And I also used some Benefit Puff Away. I'm not going to start in by filling her brows. I believe I was just using a Morphe eyebrow gel cream. I honestly don't remember the shade, but get whichever one works best for your client. I highly recommend these brow pomades because they're very inexpensive and they're very effective. So I'm going to conceal underneath her brow with the Covergirl Trumatch Full Coverage Concealer. I love these concealers. You're actually going to get to see the actual packaging of the concealer very soon. Ignore my bonnet. I did not realize how much I was going to be in this video. So I'm just going to buff out this concealer now with a Real Techniques buffing brush and just touch up the brows. I kind of go back and forth as I do this process because I try to make it as perfect as possible. So now I'm just using that same concealer as the base for the eyeshadow. It's a little bit lighter and it's full coverage. For colored looks, you're going to want to use a very full coverage concealer and a little bit lighter so the pigment can really pull up. So I'm just using the yellow from the James Charles palette, and I really had to build this up. That's why this clip is going to be very long, because yellows, if you guys know a very easy pigmented yellow, please let me know, because this is sped up 2 times. I literally probably spent an entire 2 minutes trying to buff out and build up this yellow, which doesn't sound like a lot, but as a makeup artist we know. Next, I'm going to go on with the orangey shade in the palette. I'm going to try my hardest to actually go back and look if he has names for these shades. But I'm going with the light orangey shade underneath to kind of build up that transition crease. And when it comes to color, just use colors that kind of complement each other and your eyeshadow should be fine. Also, sorry for the focus. My camera focuses super fast, so it will focus on my hand at times. I went in with green, but then I changed my mind. I didn't like it. And then I decided to go for a pink, that really hot pink in the palette. I love that shade. It's super pigmented and it blends out super beautifully. It also does it takes some time to really build it up to how I like it. Again, so sorry for my camera being out of focus, but I really want to leave this tutorial as true as possible. So now that I finally got the pink to where I want it to be, I am adding this like purpley color, and now I'm cutting the crease with that same concealer. I try to be very effective with my products and use it for as many things as possible. And I'm going with that very bright blue in the James Charles palette, and I'm really building up that pigment. I decided to go with that blue because if you look at her bodysuit, it's the exact same color and it really complemented each other. So I'm just building up that pigment, building up that pigment, building up that pigment. I definitely do face first normally, but I would highly recommend you do the eyes first if you need to do a color like this. As you guys see off camera, I had to do her wing liner. I did it off camera because I don't do wing liner as often as I used to, so it takes me a little bit longer. And that's the white one from NYX. And then I did her under eyeshadow from Now because I find that color pigments apply best on bare skin instead of on foundation or concealed skin. So to prep her skin, I just use the Milk Hydrogrip. And then in the center, you're going to see me go in with the Fenty Matte Primer. Typically, I would actually go in with the Becca Matte Poreless, but I'll be just completely honest with you. She has drier skin, so I didn't want to use something that I knew would kind of take it away. Also, I'm going in now with the Wet n Wild, it's like a glow thing in a doe foot. I'm going to link it below. This is just to add some more glow to her skin so she can really look luminous. This is Carnival makeup. I would not normally go so heavy on a regular client, but this is Carnival makeup. It's meant to be fun, full coverage. Yeah, it's just meant to be fun. Now for foundation, I'm going in with 2 black opal 6. I will be lying to you if I said I knew what colors these were, but I'm going to guess that it's Heavenly Honey and Truly Topaz. that's, if I had to guess, those are the shades I would guess that is. So I'm just buffing this in with a Morphe brush. I'm going to try my hardest to go find it, but it's the same Morphe brush that comes in that set with that red sponge. So now that I finished buffing out all that foundation, and really take your time to blend this in, I'm going to go in with some concealer. So this concealer is the Fenty in the shade 370. I like to do two concealers. I like to do one shade that's very similar to the foundation, and I like to put it all over and really get that coverage going. Again, like I said, I would not normally do this much makeup, but I promise you in person it looks really, really good, and in pictures it looks even better, and my clients always tell me that it feels like they're not wearing anything. Next I'm going to go in again with that CoverGirl concealer. I love this concealer. It is super full coverage. It reminds me so much of the Tarte Shape Tape, so that's why I love this concealer so much, and I just go over and highlight those areas again. And I also forgot to mention, in her waterline, the black line I use is the Inglot 77. So for her forehead, her chin, her above her mouth, and on the sides of her eyes, I use the brush to buff out the concealer. And then in the very inner corner, I go in with a sponge. I just prefer the look that gives more. I love buffing up the side of the concealer with the same foundation brush. I feel like that helps it give a more seamless transition without it looking so, she put this here, she put that there. Next, I'm contouring. I use the William Tuttle foundations to contour. I honestly just mix them, so I don't know what shades I'm using on her. And now I'm going in to set her makeup. I use the Laura Mercier. Now, I would highly recommend the Derma Blend if she was actually going to go to Carnival. Carnival hasn't happened yet. In Miami, it happens on October 13th. And again, like I said, she has drier skin, and I already use so many matte products. So, do what's best for your client. Try not to just follow like a script when it comes to makeup. To set all over her face, I'm using the Morphe finishing powders. I really like this product. It's really seamless, it has good coverage, and it doesn't make the makeup look really cakey or really powdery. So I'm just buffing this all over, and I also use this to wipe off that translucent powder. Yeah, so I just use this to set all over the face. So of course you're going to lose some of that color underneath, so I'm just reinforcing it, but I promise you if you do it first on bare skin, you get the most product payoff. In the inner corner, I added that turquoise shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette. If you're wondering why that blue kind of has that transition, I'm just sweeping off that powder. And to set her bronzer, I used the Hoola and Caramel and the Morphe and Vlogger to give her a really, really, really bronze look, and I actually even used a little bit of Hoola Toasted. For blush, I used my Stillazi palette with that really beautiful orange color. And for highlighter, if I'm not lying to you guys, I believe I used the limited edition from the Makeup Shayla collection with ColourPop, AH Cosmetics Just Peachy, and I know the last highlighter I used is Fenty. Right now I'm putting the Fenty Trophy Wife in her inner corner. That green gave such a really pretty reflect, because it's kind of like, that highlight is kind of like a green gold. It really just topped off the looks. I loved how it looked in the inner corner. Honestly, it was one of probably my favorite parts of the tutorial when I added that color. Next, I'm just going in with a million pink glosses because I really wanted to get a really good pink going, that Barbie pink, because we had so much fun on the eyes. If I added a lip color, I think I would have been doing too much. This final one that gave the prettiest Barbie pink was this NYX one. I'm going to try to leave it down below. In the inner corner, I'm topping it off with the Urban Decay. I'm going to leave the shade in below of the glitter liner. This added that perfect final step. As you guys can see, it added this fairy tale shimmeristic look. And I'm just going in with some loose glitter on a big fluffy brush, and I'm just putting in all the places I highlight. Again, this is Carnival makeup. I would not typically do this on my clients, but it looks gorgeous in person if you are a little bit more extra. As you guys can see, everything ties the look so in well together. I put lashes on off camera. So now I'm just going to set her makeup. I use the Omglo setting spray. It gives such a beautiful glow to the skin. And the Ben Nye Final Seal. So I'm just choosing what jewels I'm going to use. I chose the first one. Which one would you guys have chose? The second one or the first one? She's actually going to hold it up for me because I could not decide at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, which one should I do? But in the end, I chose the first one because of the orange in there. I felt like it really reflected almost basically all the colors I used. The orange, the yellow, the pink, the blue. So that's why I went with this one. Then I added two little gems underneath. I love the underneath gems. I feel like it really adds to the look. Excuse this bonnet, it is so ghetto. But I just feel like it really adds to the look. And now we're finished.
Baby, you a dancer. You look so innocent, no would you think you want her? She wore the eggplant. She grab it up and push it down in her dance. You're pretty and you're elegant. None of yourself, but you're ever relevant. All natural, nothing enhanced. And when you cover it, it's evident. Baby, man cheat, but woman cheat. You fuck around with just the wrong people. Man a wicked then, man a evil. Call us spade to what we evil. Pretty girl, no secret, typical. Give me all of your love, me give you reciprocal. Funny phone, me give you the lyrical. But you're in a person, give you the physical. Good girl with a body, with a bad anybody. You me did a take it from a team. Here some cocky first time, don't have the ice cream. You say hey, pretty girl, what you doing out there? So she ain't in a love and she don't care. Pretty girl with a body, with a bad body. So me take her off of the scene. I'ma take you out, I'ma make you out. I'ma let you know what I'm thinking. Take away all the doubt, what you worried about? Come make a toast to long living. Nobody can stop you from linking. We're past the iceberg, we're not sinking. Just give me your support, wanna make you proud. Gonna let you know how I'm feeling. Man cheat but woman cheat. We fuck around with just the wrong people. If man a wicked then, woman a evil. Call us spade to what we evil. Pretty girl, no secret, typical. Give me all of your love, me give you reciprocal. Funny phone, me give you the lyrical. But you're in a person, give you the physical. Pretty girl with a body, with a bad anybody. You me did a put her from a team.